Now, welcome to another Mandalorian speculation and theory video, where this time I think we got quite a few interesting ones, so let's get right to it.
Let's start out with Paz Vizsla. We've been watching him this season. At first, I thought we were seeing maybe a different side to Paz, more of the leader role Paz, more of the responsible Paz, the guy who wants to be in charge. And then as soon as Din and Bo showed up, he kind of went back to, I'm grumpy.
Well, he saw the Darksaber
He saw it.
in Book of Boba Fett, and he seemed quite interested. He challenges Din and loses.
Challenges him immediately, too.
Yeah, yeah, he didn't waste any time.
No.
Well, he saw him struggling with the blade. He's like, yep, that's maybe the best time to fight him. Mm-hmm. And then we see him in the first episode, and he's very protective. Like, he's, get the younglings to save, not younglings, but,
Young ones.
the young ones to safety and all this. And he's, he's fighting the alligator
He put his
turtle
life on the
thing.
line, too.
Yeah, he's getting right out in front of it and helping others. So it was like, oh, look, he's trying to be a leader. He's trying to step up. And then in this latest episode, you really get the sense he's not happy with Bo coming around.
Or even Din coming back.
Yeah.
It's interesting because there's some tidbits of information I found that made me have even more questions about where this season might take him. We know that previously that Jon Favreau had been the voice of Paz Vizsla.
Yeah.
He was never the body. The body was played by Tate Fletcher. What's interesting is I thought he sounded a little different this season. It's because Jon Favreau isn't voicing him this season. The physical actor, Tate Fletcher, has actually been doing the voice for Paz Vizsla this season.
That's because the helmet's coming off.
That's the best I could come up with. I mean, why would you want to make sure that the voice is going to sound a little bit closer to the actual voice unless you might be taking off the helmet?
Which is interesting because, I mean, it's a theory, right? We don't know that it's coming off, but it would make sense that you would want to start using the actor's voice who you're going to see in the show.
When he takes it off, you want to be like, oh yeah, that still sounds like him.
Yeah, you don't want it to be too jarring, I guess.
Because you really can't voice over with matching the mouths and
Well,
it's a little awkward.
we see what happens when they kind of try to CGI sometimes. So
So Paz might be removing the helmet or having it removed.
I think he's going to have it removed.
Do you think he's going to pick a fight with another Mandalorian and maybe he's going to lose and they're going to take his helmet off? Or
Well, what I could see is trying to change the way, trying to, let's get rid of this helmet rule. This is the sticking point that, I mean, it sounds funny, but that's going to be the sticking point. And so Paz is going to be, no, we don't change the way. He's going to get into a fight and he's going to have his helmet removed. And he's going to either decide, like, do you still follow the way? Or are you going to follow the new way where you can take your helmet off?
You can follow the creed, just you don't have to always have your helmet on, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. It is an interesting thought to think that we could see another face underneath the helmet. But that's not the only face I think we could see.
We're going to see the armor, too. It's all coming off. They're not going to keep with it. It's just for the logistics of the storytelling of it, to just have this series where no one's ever taking their helmet off, it's going to be rough to try to pull that off. It's one thing when you have Mando going around and he's the only guy always wearing a helmet, and even that sometimes is like, all right, yeah. But large chunks of the series going to revolve around all these Mandalorians, the helmets are coming off.
At least for a short time.
Well, I think it's just going to be there's going to be some kind of change of rule or something, and hopefully it works well in the story.
Well, my theory, we might not be seeing the armorer's face in the present tense, but maybe in the past. We have that one scene from the trailer that hasn't been seen yet, the one about them flying over what looks like old Mandalore.
Well, it looks like a bubble city.
It does. And to our knowledge, they didn't build bubble cities anywhere but Mandalore.
We've only seen like one other, in the new canon, we've only seen one other city-ish, and that was in Clone Wars when they go to Concordia and we see where Pre Vizsla lives, and it's not a bubble city because that planet isn't poisoned and irradiated and all that stuff.
Well, and Bo's castle wasn't in a bubble either.
Exactly. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, this is a different planet in the Mandalorian system. There's all these planets, and it's, okay, that's possible, but the reason why they live in bubble cities on Mandalore is because they needed to. Mm-hmm. So it would be strange to make a bubble city elsewhere unless it's another poisoned planet.
No, my theory is that we're seeing the past. I want to think we're seeing the past in regards to the armorer. I think we need to know more of her story. My theory on her is that she is the missing sister of House Kryze.
I like it and don't like it, because why I like it is because it connects everything. Why I don't like it is because it connects everything.
Well, what's interesting is the fact that we know bo-katan has a sister. She was the Duchess of Mandalore, Duchess Satine.
Yeah. Obi-Wan's
Satine
fling.
and Bo have a nephew named Corky.
Which a lot of people think is Satine and Kenobi's love child.
Yes, a lot of people do think that.
Yep.
But if it isn't, where's the missing
Who's the
sibling?
parent? Because we're missing. It's not bo-katan. It's not Satine.
Because there's Aunt Bo-Katan and Aunt Satine.
Yes. So
We know he's a member of House Kryze.
Yes. Pretty sure it's officially not like an adopted in there and all that. Now, does he call them aunt because of another reason? That they're not actually his aunt? There's something... I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out because...
That should have been something they explained, though. I feel like that's a breadcrumb that was left on purpose. With the next episode being the Dave Filoni episode, there are so many rampant theories about what's going to be in the episode, ranging from Ahsoka's going to show up, Sabine's going to show up.
I love it's a Dave Filoni episode, so Ahsoka's going to show up.
But the other theory is, what if he's tying up more of his loose ends from the Clone Wars?
Could be.
This could be our flashback episode back to a time he is more familiar with.
I like the flashback theory.
So I think that the armor could be the missing Kryze sibling. She could be the middle child. It could be that... I mean, think about the way she talks. She has that same almost royal accent that Bo-Katan has.
Yeah.
She does talk very prim and proper, and it's interesting. Plus, she's the holder of these myths and legends and stories.
Yeah, well...
Who better to hold those than a member of House Kryze?
Well, a lot of people think she's Rook cast because she has horns on her helmet. I don't think so because, for one, just because you have horns on your helmet doesn't mean you're like the offshoot Mandalorians from that went with Maul. For two, she's taken her helmet off before, so she would have had to decide, now I'm going to start following the way. And that would require bathing in the living waters, which is not impossible considering she does, as the armor, have living waters. And for three, why?
I've also heard the theory that she's Ursa Wren, but I don't think she sounds old enough to be Ursa Wren.
No, I don't think she's that old. I think she's around the same age as Din, which is also part of the problem. Mm-hmm. Or she could be a little older, so she could be like she'd have to be a little older to be the mother of Corky.
I think she's the middle child.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes her a little bit older than Bo-Katan.
Well, she'd have to be quite...
She doesn't have to be quite older. She just has to be a little older.
Yeah, but I was thinking...
Older enough.
I'm just saying, in terms of my head, of her being around the same age as Din wouldn't really make much sense because she'd have to be a little bit older than that.
I think she is.
A child who's around, almost a teen in the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Or is a teen. I don't remember how old Corky
maybe
is. It's hard to tell in animation.
Maybe she's the oldest sibling. And maybe Satine was chosen because she didn't want it. Because maybe the highest honor was to become an armorer.
Yeah, well, it seems to be.
It definitely seems to be. She's holding the myths, the history of her people. She crafts the armor, which is part of their religion. Why not? Why not make her the missing link so we all can stop asking the question, who is Corky's mom? What a name.
Yeah, that's...
Corky Kryze.
It's a name, all right. I've said it before, the armorer is too cool to be Corky's mom. That's why I don't like your theory. Like I said, part of me likes that, okay, it connects everything that's cool. Another part is like, come on, really? Everything is going to be connected like that?
I'm just very curious as to where the season is going. We have a few more shots from the trailers we haven't seen. We have the battle on Navarro against the pirates. And we have one of the biggest questions left of Grogu's past.
Which we are 95% sure is going to be dealt with because we see in the trailer the flashback again. And the temple.
And we're not done with Coruscant either, because there are a couple of shots from the trailer haven't been used yet.
Looks like the season could go all over the place. We're talking potential flashbacks. We're talking more on Coruscant than we've already got. Talked about all sorts of things.
So I think this episode, though, that's coming is going to be huge, because I do really believe it's going to be flashback episode. That's my theory, because I honestly don't want it to be an Ahsoka-centric episode, because I feel like we need to center closer and back onto the main cast this season.
Well, yeah, do I think Ahsoka might show up? Sure. Do we need an Ahsoka episode? No. We got an Ahsoka series coming up shortly thereafter, so we don't really need her to take over an episode. We should stop with the whole hijacking episode thing. So yeah, just a couple theories or bits of speculation here. Like I said, I do like the Corky mom idea with the armor, I think. I'm torn on that one. But you're right. We are missing a Kryze sister here, or brother. It could be a
sister-in-law.
Yeah, exactly. So we're missing a sibling, or the rumors are true. It seems too obvious if there's no other sister because, it's not Satine's, and it's not Bo-Katan's. Yet they call her aunt. Like, why? And why are you calling him like a member of the royal family? Did you adopt him, or what is the deal? Unless there is another sister or brother.
I think he's a family member.
Either way, we'll find out, I think, soon enough about the armor. So now it's your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what you think is going to happen with Paz Vizsla, the armorer, flashbacks, Grogu, all of it. So again, take to the comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.